Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 177 here on season number 2. And today we are getting into BLCN ETF offered by Realty Shares. These videos are meant for educational purposes only and not meant to be taken as financial advice. You're responsible for your assets and to properly protect them. So always, please do your own research. BLCN ETF is actually a blockchain ETF, similar to, I guess most people would understand or know a little bit more about the BLOK ETF or block ETF. The BLCN ETF is offered by Realty Shares. It's also known as the Realty Shares Nasdaq NexGen Economy ETF. The object of this ETF obviously is long-term growth by tracking investment returns of the Realty Shares Nasdaq Blockchain Economy Index. The fees on this ETF are going to be around a 0.68%. This ETF is designed to measure the returns of companies using, developing, researching, and supporting the blockchain. Basically, these companies have committed material resources to see the blockchain further use and adoption with this specific technology. I mean, it could be anything from like faster transactions to the information stored via the cloud. The index specifically only includes companies with a market cap over $200 million or greater and has a daily trading volume of 1 million or more. Then at this point, each company is assigned a rank or a blockchain score, which this is like, I guess, a proprietary system on how these companies are ranked. There are 7 factors that these companies are ranked on as far as like blockchain score. The first one is blockchain technology ecosystem. Second is participation in the industry. Third is blockchain technology development. Fourth is innovation. Fifth, economic impact. Sixth is public references. And 7th is research and development. As far as like, I know it's like, okay, well, that's pretty vague. Like, what are the metrics for each one of those? As far as like browsing around the website of Realty Shares and all that kind of stuff, I wasn't able to find anything at all. I did, however, reach out to them as far as like their white pages and how I guess that should contain more information as regards to what their proprietary system is and their metrics. However, unfortunately, they haven't got back to me yet. In the prospectus, it does say that under normal circumstances, 80% of the fund's assets will be invested into the securities that are located in the index. However, the fund also may invest about 20% of its assets into non-related components of the index that the advisor believes will, I guess, help it match or beat the index. Also, in case you're wondering, this fund does not directly invest or even indirectly invest into cryptocurrency. The fund, as far as like the strategy, they typically use a replication strategy, which basically means that they invest into all the securities that are included in the index in about the same proportions as related to the actual index. However, the fund may use a representative sample, so just like a smaller portion of the actual index to help achieve basically the investment objectives. This would be also if the advisor believes it to be in the best interest of the fund. Basically, though, the sample would have to be a subset of equities whose risk, return, and performance generally will match the overall index. But with the correlation, what they expect the correlation to be between the index and the fund, they expect the index fund correlation to be around 95%. The highest that it could possibly would be 100%, which would be a perfect match. So 95% is still really, really good. The fund also seeks to stay fully invested at all times, regardless of how the market conditions are or how the market is acting. This fund is also considered like a non-diversified fund. It also has high exposure into particular sectors, like for instance, the financial sector, and then also the information technology sector. Also, I would say that this fund does have quite a bit of risk. And so what I will do in the actual video is link the actual PDF to the prospectus so that you can read all the risk that's equated to this ETF in that PDF down in the description. As far as like, let's get into some of the numbers on this ETF. Some of the numbers since inception, the fund is down 5.84% with a net asset value of negative 5.91%. The index, however, is down only 5.92% 1.7%. But if you're looking like in the past 3 months, the net asset value is actually up 0.17%, and the market return is still negative 0.05%, with the index doing around 0.3%. On June 30th, 2018, the top holdings were AMD, Intel, Microsoft, ASP, Digital Garbage, SBI Holdings / Japan, Nasdaq, Cisco Systems, International Business Machine, and Accenture PLC. Also, as in regards to exposure, most of the exposure, 50% is going to be into those US equities, 32% is Asia equities, and then 18% is Europe, with about 63% exposure into the information technology sector, 29% into financials, and then 7% to consumer discretionaries, with 1% leaving it for industrials. With each quarter, they also, this ETF also produces a commentary, and here's kind of some of the commentary from this ETF. AMD was the best performing equity with a 49.15% return, which contributed to about a 0.76% return on that specific fund. Both Square and Digital Garbage pulled double digits as well. ZTE Corp and Hive Blockchain, ZTE pulled a negative 53.33%, and Hive Blockchain pulled a negative 42.46%. To compare like this ETF to Block, in the past, since inception, Block has done about a 0.55% return, and in the past 3 months, it's done a 1.2% return. Whereas in the last year for BLCN, it's done a negative 1.5% return, and in the past 3 months, it's done a 3.19% return. And those numbers specifically were pulled from Robinhood. I think that we've kind of pretty much covered every single nook and cranny with BLCN. If you do have any questions, comments, criticisms, feel free to post them down below. Also, I'd love to know what's your opinion on this ETF. Is it something that you would likely expose yourself to, or that you're not even interested at all? And if why or why not, please post that down below as well. Anyways, we'll go ahead and leave right there. Let's jump to the question of the day real quick, which is, what was the weirdest habit you had as a child? For me, I think it was, my parents would always tell me that I would always go outside with my socks on, but never my shoes on. It was like, oh, let me put on my socks and then I can go outside and play in the street. So I had like a whole bunch of holy socks. And also, I probably assume the second one was like picking my nose and then, you know, sticking it in my mouth, which I'm not too proud of, by the way. Not very proud of at all. Anyways, like I always say, if you got a question regarding Stash, Acorns, Robinhood, M1 Finance, as well as journal investing, business, Etsy, coaching, please post those questions down below. Don't forget to subscribe right up here. Check out these two videos right here and the link. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.